Welcome everyone, Costin here with a discussion about World of Warcraft and Activision-Blizzard's crusade to introduce more representation in the game. Not because they actually care about it, no, but because they're being sued and they need to do something in order to win settlement. That's actually something that I'm going to go into more detail later on in this video, but you gotta understand that one of the main reasons Activision Blizzard are doing changes are implementing changes in World of Warcraft in terms of combating discrimination and all that isn't because they care about it, at least as far as I'm concerned. Rather, it's because they're getting sued, and this is a way for them to maybe walk away with a slap on the wrist and not actually make real changes in the company and the way that they treat their employees. But anyway, from Wowhead, Unit 6 documentation indicates gender customization may be coming to World of Warcraft. While we've been busy data mining new models and tier site changes in 9.2, Simaya has shared new findings on Twitter which indicate that additional gender customization may be coming to World of Warcraft. Currently, the only place this index is used for is for armor sets which change appearance based on gender. One robe model may be more revealing for females and use a different texture than males, which this index is used to annotate. At the same time, another robe which uses the same model for both genders would be marked as both. This is nothing new though. All four options have been in the database binary files for at least several expansions, though none doesn't appear to have actually been used. This change adding both to the table is on the documentation side. That information is used in the barbershop to change genders and affect character appearance, as well as various quest dialogues and broadcast text. The inclusion of both in the documentation may indicate new options in the future, but is as of yet far from confirmed. This is nothing more than speculation. But they also know World of Warcraft would hardly be the first game to embrace the idea though, as it's been a growing trend within the industry. Games such as Pyre, Saints Row 4, and New World already have options to allow players to pick their preferred pronouns, while several others break down traditional barriers by allowing players to use female hairstyles or makeup for men, and assign male voices to women. Last month, the Sims community launched a petition with over 20,000 signatures asking for gender-neutral pronouns to be added to the game, prompting a response from EA on the technical difficulty of adding such a seemingly simple feature to the game. But here's what I'm gonna say on this. When it comes to it, there are people who do care about it. Now, what would this really do? What would this kind of change really do? Well, there are many options from how NPCs would address you in the game. That's one of those things, right? The pronoun that what they would use when addressing you. It's mostly quest text, really, that it would affect. It's not really a big deal as far as I'm concerned. Some people think it's a really big deal, but whatever. But more importantly, it might be how your character looks in armor, how your character body shape, for instance. Or there are people talking about, oh, can I have a bearded female dwarf as an example? Those kind of things, right? Those kind of changes could be coming in World of Warcraft. Now, my perspective on this issue is, well, you can change your gender whenever you want. Well, I admit I don't quite fully appreciate, I suppose, the desire of people. It's like having this gender fluid stuff. Really, it's like, oh, you're playing a man, but it's like you want to be referred to as a woman or whatever, or gender neutral. I admit that's something I don't really care about personally. It's not something I give a crap about in any way, shape, or form. Some people do. There's certainly the Rainbow Brigade, if you will, certainly do care and want to push it. But anyway, that's just something that they've done. So you might have these options coming in World of Warcraft. Maybe not. Blizzard has an interest right now in perhaps embracing this for several reasons. But there is more to it than there's more to it than just that. There's obviously changes that they've made in the past. Changes that they've already made with, say, Karazhan. Female-only Ghosts in Karazhan updates to include male versions. Now, this was from September towards the end of September, along with the addition of and removal of several emotes. 9.1.5 included changes to other parts of the game. targeting trash mobs inside the original Burn Crusade version of Karazhan. Undead enemies, which previously only had female mods, have been updated to include male versions with new or gender-neutral names. So you have the Wanton Hostess replacing the Concubine. It's been renamed to the Wanton Host and now transforms into a gender-neutral Wraith instead of Banshee. Night Mistress is unchanged, but there's also now a male version called the Night Lord. The Zealous Paramour has been split into two mobs. Females are now called Zealous Paramour and will continue to transform into a Succubus, while the males are Zealous Consort and will now become a Satyr. Like previous updates, to tone down sexuality in vanilla paintings, remove sexual innuendos from item and achievement names, there are fairly simple changes that likely don't require much in the way of effort or development time. Though it's interesting that Blizzard is spending time on them in the first place. Well, I guess you would call it interesting. I just want to mention something, by the way, with these articles that Wowhead does have, and I'll link them in the description. I do want to mention that the comment sections are locked. For the most recent one, completely locked, there's no comments. For the older one, the Karazhan stuff, there were about 100 comments and got locked because a lot of people just view it as complete trash, right? What Blizzard is doing is just a complete trash and a waste of effort, and a lot of people just don't care for it. Either way, they don't care with Blizzard making these kind of changes in the game because they've treated their female employees like trash. That's something. Like, Blizzard, why is Activision Blizzard doing this? There are three big reasons as far as I'm concerned. One, they are trying to get in line behind the Rainbow Brigade, who are pushing for these kind of changes, and they're trying to appeal to them. Okay, fair enough. If you want to do that, fair enough. They wouldn't be the first company to do so. That's one of the reasons they might be doing it, and they probably have been moving in this direction, but it is worth noting that the diversity thing start to be something that they pushed when the investigation into their into discrimination against female employees started. Or after the investigation started, after they started being investigated by the state of California. That's when they started pushing for diversity in their games. That's when they really started talking about it and started making changes, all that kind of stuff. So that's the first reason they might do it. The second reason, they might have people working in the company right now who feel emboldened. You know, plenty of people are protesting. Plenty of employees of Blizzard are pissed off as to what's been going on, and they're pushing it. Again, just people that Rainbow Brigade, people working in Blizzard that care about this stuff. Those are two reasons. But the big reason, the one I feel that's most likely behind this, is the fact that Blizzard is getting sued and investigated and being raked over the coals by pretty much everyone. The mainstream media is covering it. There's so many articles on this issue that has affected Blizzard. You've had Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo even going after Activision-Blizzard, saying they're concerned over it. They don't want to get involved, but they do have partnerships with Activision-Blizzard. And it's gotten to a point where the things that Activision Blizzard has done aren't just affecting them, they're affecting their business partners, and they're affecting their business relationships. So that is becoming a fairly serious issue. It didn't help that there were articles coming out saying that O'Neill, the co-CEO of Blizzard, the one they appointed in charge of the company, along with Ibarra, she made the point that she was going to get paid less. The Ibarra supported equal pay, but Activision Blizzard didn't want to give them equal pay, even though they were going to hold technically the same position. Now, I'm going to be blunt about it. When they appointed those two co-CEOs, the way I felt about it, and I feel validated in that, is that they really wanted Ibarra in charge of the company, you know, given the things he's done, given the fact that he's actually a pretty serious WoW player to begin with, as well as other things, of course. Whereas O'Neill, I'll be honest, she was a token choice. She felt like a token choice. She was like, well, we can't just put a man in charge of the company, right, when we've got so much shit. So it's like, but we really don't want to just put a woman either. So we'll put both of them with O'Neill as the token choice. But we really want, but basically Ibarra was going to be the one in charge of the company. That's how it felt to me, right? That's how it felt to me when it came to Blizzard's logic, that they might have just put Ibarra in charge of the company alone, but they put O'Neill as well. as a token choice. And that's pretty much how she feels about it as well, by the way. That's actually the point she's made, the accusation she's made against Blizzard, that she was basically going to be a token choice, a token CEO in charge of the company. That's how she felt. And so you've got all this stuff, all these stories coming out against Blizzard. You've seen their business relationships being harmed. You've seen their business partners attacking them or criticizing them for the things they've done. You have a significant push towards removing Bobby Kotick from being in charge of the company, which, I'll be honest with you, I think for all the crap that Bobby Kotick has done, I think this issue goes way beyond him. I don't think it was something that he was necessarily in control, to be quite honest about it. But anyway, people want Bobby Kotick done. He's the devil. He needs to go, right? That's fair. I mean, there's been a lot of criticism over the decisions Activision has made with Bobby Kotick in charge. And look, the whole O'Neill stuff, that was his decision, I feel. Like, that was something that he probably did. So yeah, he's being raked over the coals. There's a lot of criticism against Blizzard. So why would they introduce all these kind of changes that are meant to deal with anything sexual in the game, or tone it down significantly, make more entrance, more representation, gender neutral stuff? Why would they do this? Well, they're getting sued, and they're getting sued by the state of California. Now, if you read stories on how companies deal with this kind of stuff in general, or negative stories, or how they deal with the government when they face prosecution, they try and cut a deal, a settlement, right? And they want to get away with as much as possible. And basically, Activision-Blizzard would very much like to get away with the lawsuit being dropped, but that's not likely to happen right now. So what are they going to do? They're going to reach a settlement. And the changes they're making, this is how it feels to me. The changes they're making in the game, they're designed to appeal to the government, the state government, the federal government, to say, oh, look, we're making all these changes in our company, in our games, all that. That's how it feels to me. That's why they're doing it. Not because they care in any way, shape, or form, not because they're interested. They're doing it because they want to get rid of that lawsuit. They want to get away with a slap on the wrist. Not with meaningful changes in terms of how they're treating their female employees or their employees in general. Let's talk about the big elephant in the room. Not merely the fact that female employees were treated like absolute crap by Activision-Blizzard, but employees in general have been treated like crap across the entire gaming industry. In general. This is a major issue in the gaming industry. It's been happening for years. A lot of people don't care. Now, of course, why would you care, right? You pay for the game. You don't pay. You don't care about, if the developer who's making it has to work 12, 16 hours a day for a very long period of time to make it. You just care about the end product. Well, the problem is this does certainly affect the quality of the end product. That's the issue. That's why you should care about all of this, beyond the fact that people are getting treated like utter trash by the people who have hired them. And there's a myth, in a sense, or an idea that, they at least make a lot of money. They don't. That's the thing. A lot of them don't. I mean, some of them do, absolutely. Some of the big developers, some of the big guys on the development team absolutely can make a decent amount of money. But many of the actual people who are putting in the grunt work, the crunch time, all that, they don't even get paid all that well. And those are issues. That's a big, big issue in the gaming industry. Does Activision want to deal with that? Hell, do they even want to deal with what I consider the smaller issue, which is the fact that their female employees were treated like utter trash by the people in the company? No. The fact is they don't. They don't want to make those kind of major changes in the company. They wouldn't want to pay people more or treat them better or improve the working conditions, because that costs money. So what they want to do is they want to reach a settlement with the state agencies, with the federal government, and get away with as much as possible, with a slap on the wrist if they can. That's the reason behind all of this. That's why they're doing all of this. all these changes that you see in WoW, all these things that feel so bloody and consequential when it comes to the bigger issues that are plaguing the industry, and even issues when it comes to actual representation or discrimination. It feels just so petty and meaningless, I'll be honest with you. But we'll see what the Blizzard actually ends up doing in terms of representation. But I feel it's worth knowing why this is happening, because that is actually important from my perspective. Costin here, signing out. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and enable notifications, and stay tuned for more, because there is more to come. More World of Warcraft to come. Or maybe not, I don't know. Maybe we'll see Activision-Blizzard go down in flames.